I'm 44 now, and for most of my marriage, I've been a stay-at-home mom. We've been together for 13 years. About 10 years ago, I tried to start a small home business. It lasted about a year and a half, but it failed, and the aftermath left us with significant debt. My husband had to sell his old house to pay most of it off, and we had to move to a smaller place. He'd never been in favor of me starting the business in the first place. He always said we couldn't afford a risk, but I pushed ahead, thinking I could make it work. I thought I was being ambitious, trying to better our situation. But when it fell apart, everything changed. I became the person who had put us in that financial hole. He never said it outright, but I could feel it. The way he looked at me was different, like he no longer saw me as someone capable. He'd do the usual things, helping around the house, keeping life moving, but he started making little comments, always pointing out my mistakes, whether it was something small like taking too long to do something or spending money on something he thought was unnecessary. He would often remind me that I should have listened to him and not started that business. I could sense his disappointment in me. It felt like I lost his respect, and that was a hard pill to swallow. Even when something went wrong in the house, it became a backhanded comment about how we wouldn't even be in this situation if I hadn't taken on those projects I didn't understand. Every time I tried to talk about doing something new, he'd make remarks about risk or being realistic. It was as though he stopped trusting my judgment altogether. I found myself feeling like I had to run every small decision by him, or else it would somehow turn into another critique about my carelessness. Then, for years ago, I met someone. He was doing sound and lighting for a school event. He wasn't married, didn't have kids, and worked for himself. There was something about him, a quiet confidence that felt safe, something I didn't realize I was missing. We started off friendly, ran into each other a few times after that, and exchanged numbers under the guise of discussing event coordination. At first, it was slow, just coffee here and there, then lunches. Eventually, he invited me to his place one afternoon to show me some equipment. I went, and we ended up sleeping together. I knew immediately that it was a mistake, but I couldn't stop. I kept telling myself it wouldn't happen again, but it did. I used errands as an excuse to see him, telling my husband I had volunteer work or was meeting other moms, or that I just needed quiet time. I'd drive to his place, and we'd spend the afternoon together, watching movies, ordering takeout, talking. He listened to me in a way my husband didn't anymore. He asked me about my ideas, my dreams. With him, I felt like the woman I used to be, the one with ambition and goals, the one who once had a business. I convinced myself it wasn't hurting anyone, that it was helping me be a better mom, because I wasn't falling apart on the inside. Last month, it was our anniversary. My husband was going on and on about planning a vacation, but I didn't want to go. I kept telling him it was too expensive, or that we couldn't leave our son with my parents for that long. But in the back of my mind, I didn't want to leave town in case the other man wanted to see me. I still had feelings for him. Even though we hadn't been meeting as often due to his schedule, I figured we'd figure something out. That weekend, I told my husband I had to run a bunch of errands to pick up some decorations for our dinner. But I ended up at the other man's place for about 2 hours. We were having a good time, and he was showing me some new tricks. I remember reluctantly getting myself together to go home, knowing I'd have to face my husband. When I got home, there was a dinner waiting for me. Candles, food, everything. Our son was at his grandparents'. My husband didn't say much at first. We ate. Then he brought out a folder. It was divorce papers. He said he'd known for a while. He said he wasn't going to fight me on custody because he was taking our son, and that he wasn't going to lose the house. His lawyer was already handling it. He didn't get emotional, just handed me the papers, told me to read them, and said everything else would go through our lawyers. I felt like I was free-falling. I didn't know how things had gotten this far. I've been staying at my parents' house, but it's strained. They haven't said much, but I can feel the judgment. I haven't told anyone else. Sometimes I feel like disappearing. My son doesn't know yet. He's with his dad most of the time now. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I keep replaying everything in my head, wondering if there was something I could have done to fix it before it got to this point. I haven't heard from the other man since the last time we saw each other. I texted him a few times, but he hasn't replied. I guess it's over now. I thought he would care more. I don't even know what to do anymore. Everything is gone, and I don't know how to get it back. I'm in the hospital again, and this time, I'm not sure I can come back from this. I've been here 3 times in the last 5 months, and my eating disorder has fully taken over once again. I thought I was past this. I had a bad battle with it when I was younger, in my teens and early 20s, but this time, it feels different. I'm not trying to look a certain way anymore. This time, it's the only thing in my life I feel like I have control over. My ex-husband doesn't respond to anything anymore, not even when I ask about our child. He has full custody of our son for now, temporarily, because I still don't have a stable place to stay. There's nothing going through the lawyer besides the scheduled meetings and agreements. I don't even know where they live now. I only found out he moved because a package I sent for our son got returned. I don't even know if my son saw the last message I sent. I never received a reply. Maybe my ex blocked me. My parents officially cut me off after my last hospital stay. They told me they couldn't watch me destroy myself anymore and blamed everyone else. That was a blow I wasn't expecting. My mom said I was blaming others for my problems, and I hadn't realized I was doing that. Maybe I don't know, it's all such a blur now. They blocked my number, and when I tried to show up, they didn't open the door. I even lost my job last week. It was just part-time admin work I took on when things started getting tight, but I missed too many shifts. I lied about being sick, but they found out I was in inpatient care, and they said they couldn't hold a position anymore. Honestly, I don't blame them. I barely have the energy to respond to emails, let alone keep a work schedule. The other man, the one I was seeing, is gone. I haven't heard from him since the week everything fell apart. I sent him a message saying I needed someone, but he left it on read. A few days later, I was blocked. I checked his Facebook, and it looks like he's gotten engaged. There was a picture of 2 hands, his and a woman's, with a ring. I remember we took a picture like that not long ago, when everything still felt right. I wish I could say I've learned something from all of this, or that I've had some breakthrough, but I haven't. I haven't had a therapy session in 2 months because my insurance won't cover anymore, and I'm not in a good enough headspace for telehealth. My last therapist said I needed more intensive care anyway, but I haven't taken the steps toward that. I'm not writing this to get pity or sympathy. I just feel invisible. The marriage is over. My relationship with my child may be beyond repair. My parents are gone, and no one from my life before is reaching out to me. Even here in the hospital, I'm getting no visits. No one is asking if someone is coming to pick me up when I'm discharged. No one is coming. I don't even know who I am anymore. Without the roles I had in the family, even if they were broken, it was still something. Now, it's just me waking up every day, counting the hours, maybe eating a cracker when the nurse insists, and then going back to bed. The fall has felt slow, but when you hit bottom, it all happens at once. You lose everything, and when you lose everything, you realize you were never prepared to be alone. The loneliness is crushing. I've been there. When you finally see the truth of what you've done, and no one is around to cushion the blow, it's devastating, but I know this is where the real work begins. This is the moment when you decide whether to keep spiraling or to rebuild from the ground up. I see now that journaling and real accountability are crucial. It's not about saying you regret what happened. It's about understanding why it happened and ensuring you never repeat it. You don't need your ex-husband to forgive you to become a better person. You need to figure out why you betrayed everything you built. That's what will help you ensure it doesn't happen again. I know that right now, I'm still avoiding full ownership of my actions. But that's something I have to face if I ever want to be a safe person, whether for myself, my son, or anyone else in my life. My ex-husband and my child stepped away from me, and it's not because they're cruel. It's because I gave them reasons not to trust me. I keep saying I regret everything, but what am I do with that regret? Feeling bad isn't enough if I don't make a change. I know I have a chance here, maybe my last chance, to rebuild something real inside myself. I have to take it seriously. No shortcuts. I know people will be harsh, but I want to say I hear the pain in what you wrote. No one reaches this point unless they've been carrying too much for too long. That doesn't make what happened okay, but it means you're still a person with value, still capable of healing and change. You don't have to have all the answers right now. Just focus on staying present, one day at a time. Keep showing up for yourself, whether that's through therapy, through writing, or through the simple act of choosing to eat. The fact that you're even posting this shows you want to be different. That's not nothing.